Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the Hopkinton Select Board of February 20th. I'll call this meeting to order and let you know that this meeting of the Hopkinton Select Board is being held both in person and remotely using the video conference platform Zoom. Do we have Shadul on Zoom? Okay. So all members that are participating are present in the meeting room, and the public has the option of attending in person here at Town Hall or via Zoom using the link posted in this meeting's agenda. This meeting is being recorded, and we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our first order of business is the public forum where residents are invited to speak. And we usually ask people to keep their comments to 2 minutes. Are you here to speak, sir? Yes. Please welcome. And please remember, just state your name and your address.
Timothy Boyven, 41 Pinecrest Village. At the January 30th meeting, Ms. Kramer read an apology from board and town officials to the survivor, saying, "We must be guided both by the necessary humility to question and reflect on our own actions and by an unflagging commitment to fix what went wrong. You can be assured that we are doing just that." So why is Joseph Bennett still chief after doxing the survivor in the John Porter case? Porter was suspended as soon as the town learned of the DA's investigation into child rape allegations. Sergeant Tim Brennan was suspended immediately when his role in encouraging the survivor to come forward became known. Yet Bennett still isn't suspended despite blatantly breaking state law more than a month ago. The apology also said, "Words alone are never enough, but we still offer them as we seek to do what is right and to make amends." Yet on February 9th, the board deplorably fired Sergeant Brennan based on Bennett's recommendation, with only Ms. Kramer dissenting, to her credit. The rest of you, then and there, had a chance to make amends. Instead, you fired a good man who served this town without a blemish on his record for decades. Do what is right and make amends? Well, that statement rings absolutely hollow now. The apology went on to say, "Doing the work and making sure this never happens again is foremost on our minds, as well as rightly holding ourselves and others accountable as needed in meaningful ways. As long as Bennett remains, as long as Amy Rittenbush, who also doxed the survivor to 5,000 of her social media followers, continues as a board member, your words about meaningful accountability are insulting." Ms. Kramer, as a social work professional, you surely understand how this travesty of justice continues to cause significant betrayal trauma for the survivor. Until the board proactively addresses town government's massive failures here, the statement the apology concluded with, "We offer this apology with deep sincerity," well, your continued actions, or lack thereof, prove that just isn't true. I again call for the board to request the State National Guard's military police unit to assume leadership of our police department as allowed under Section 41 of Massachusetts general laws. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is anybody else in the audience here to speak?
Karen Crum, 12 Joseph Road. I don't even need 2 minutes. I just have an administrative question. So when we come here and we speak, or if we write, actually it's 2 questions. When we come here and speak, like what happens after? Like is it discussed ever? I know you can't answer our questions when we talk, but with the things where the community comes forward and makes statements or asks questions or poses concerns, we never hear anything, we never hear back, we never hear anything. I'm just curious. I mean, I feel like you, in general, would want to hear on anything, but like what happens?
I'm actually happy to entertain that, Karen, and I appreciate the question. So the policy really is to enable people to speak on anything, and not necessarily, the board is not necessarily prepared or has it on the agenda to speak again. So just administratively, that's why it's set up that way. For myself, and I know with great confidence, I speak for the other board members, every single time we hear from a resident, we take it in, whether or not I don't want to be flip. I don't want to be flip. So it sort of depends, right? But this issue is top of mind, and we are working through it. It's just, and we'll have to do it eventually in public, right? All of our work has to be in public unless it meets certain very tight guidelines. So it really depends, but the key takeaway is that everybody is listening. The situation is impossibly hard and complex, and there are no easy answers, and there's no quick resolutions as we go through this. But it is always meaningful when residents come forward or write to us.
What happens when we email the select board? Who gets those? Are they read as like a group?
If you send the
or?
select board, it comes to all of us. We cannot discuss it, right, together, because that would break open meeting law.
Yeah.
So in my case, I try to respond, and I assume that's true for others, but we don't have a conversation that way.
Ever?
We can't have a conversation
But
via
even in like
email.
an executive session, like these are the emails we
Oh,
received?
yeah, we could, so I don't know that we could ever talk about emails in executive session as an example. But we can talk together about critical issues, either in public or if they meet certain guidelines in executive session.
So do they basically like really like don't do much? Do you know what I mean?
So-
Sorry.
Like if
No,
they
go
can't be
ahead, go
discussed.
We do read
Right.
the emails,
If
we
you
do
can't
take it
discuss
in.
them, then-
We can't discuss it because it would violate open meeting law, as Muriel just said. We do take it in and we do consider it. Sometimes things are brought to our attention and it does become an agenda item, where it's something that, you do need to discuss and it does need to be acted upon.
So if someone writes an email to you then and you come to a meeting and you have to discuss it in public, it's almost like, well, I'm not going to bring it up, I'm not going to bring it up, I'm not, like, I just wondering, like, do these, I mean, is it really, how do we make an impact? How do we get a response to valid questions? I mean, people have asked, like, why the chief's interview with Kroll hasn't been released. I mean, it just seems like there should be an answer.
Yep.
Like there should be a clear answer. It's public information.
Yep.
It just makes everything seem a little shady. And I'm not trying to just say that word. I'm just saying that's just how it feels.
Yeah, I understand that it's frustrating to be in that position, and I understand that we are grappling with a big fissure in public trust, and we are really trying to work through it, and we have to do it in steps. And
What's that?
and
And
publicly.
publicly.
Yeah. Oh, I don't envy the job. Trust me, I don't at all. But even like, I mean, simple questions like I saw, tonight they're having the new CFO, but why wasn't that done before the last person that's going to be an accountant was hired?
So I am gonna bring this to a close, but
Yeah.
the hiring decisions, as in any situation, are based on when the positions are posted and applications come in and people are successfully hired.
Yeah.
Right, that's why.
I'll close. I just feel like there's been a lot of people in public that have a lot of experience or see something that, maybe 5 people didn't see or didn't see it the same way, or like, oh, that's a good idea to look at this. And I just feel like, is it even worth the effort of people coming here and trying to offer feedback?
It
That's
is.
all. Thank you.
It is. And I'm
Welcome.
sorry for the frustration.
I understand your frustration, and I'm really frustrated too, because we're guided and we can't break the open meeting law. And when we get together, we have negotiations and deliberations, we can never say anything. So people can assume things that are going on, and we can't say yay, nay, no, maybe. So we can't even tell you why we make decisions that we make and deliberate the way we make, because the law won't allow it.
Well, most of our decisions have to be in public. You see the whole,
Yeah, but
so. Anyway.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Is there anybody on Zoom, Ben? Okay. I'm going to assume that we don't have anybody, but I'll ask, is anybody here for the Select Board budget listening opportunity? Okay. Our next item of business is the consent agenda, where we'll consider the minutes of January 19th and a parade permit application for the Hopkinton High School Parade. The Select Board will consider approving a parade permit application from Christina Gallego for the senior car parade to be held June 2nd, 2024 for the class of 24. Does anybody want to separate any items off the consent agenda?
I just wanted to confirm that, so the police had recommended the parade permit with a couple of suggestions. I want to confirm that the applicant was okay with those. Is that?
Hi, Christina.
How about the parade permit?
Come on up. We might as well break out we might as well just do it one at a time, because there's only two.
So Kristen is on Zoom
So,
as well.
oh, I'm sorry, your first name?
Sherry.
Sherry, I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
That's okay, you're close.
Sherry, did you see the conditions from the police department and you're fine with them?
I did not see those, no.
Can you read them to us, Amy?
Hold on,
I'm looking.
I'm just opening the PDF because I restarted it.
I can.
Oh, go ahead.
The conditions are a police cruiser will lead the parade to ensure safe speeds are maintained.
Definitely.
Number two, all students, parents, and family members are educated in the mapped route and safety protocols listed in the parade route document.
Yes.
Yep.
The police also look forward to working with the parade committee and request a meeting 4 weeks before the parade to finalize plans.
Yes, definitely.
And then the 5 detail officers.
Yes, and yes, they require 5 detail officers, 1 at Hayden Row at the HCA, Ash at Park Street, Front Street at Ash Street at Chestnut Street, and Chestnut Street at Hayden Row.
I think that's what they did last year, too, so yeah,
I think so.
definitely.
Okay, that was the only question that you were comfortable with the conditions from.
Oh, yeah, very comfortable with that.
Okay. All right.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the parade permit with the conditions listed by the police department.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in, oh,
I
go
just want to
ahead.
mention, Kristen does have her hand up, so
Oh.
in case she had anything else to add. But
Chris, do you have anything to add?
So I just wanted to make sure that we were going to be represented here. So I saw that Sherry just joined the meeting. I just wanted to make sure that we had representation. So I am fine with those stipulations. So
Great, thank you. All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? I'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you all so
for
much. On
persevering
behalf of the
here.
class of
Thank you for
2024,
working.
they're very, very excited about this,
That
so.
was a wonderful event last year.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, your daughter really swayed my opinion.
Oh, I'll let her know
Really.
that. That's really nice. Thank you.
beautiful
She's
job.
looking for references for college, so thank you. Thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you on the route.
All right. I'll entertain a,
I'll make a motion then that we accept the minutes of the January 19th meeting as written.
is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Perfect. And now we are to a new employee. Are we too early, or?
she's on Zoom.
Oh, great. Mr. Kamalo, take us away.
Yes, through the chair, I am respectfully requesting the board confirm the town manager's appointment of Kyla Lapierre as the town's next chief financial officer.
Coincidentally, there are 2 pilots on Zoom. So.
Yes. Yes, as you know, this position will be replacing Tim O'Leary, and clearly these are big shoes to fill. And I think Kyla's experience on its own has made this task much easier. I'm sure Tim is listening. She has 29 years of experience working for the State Street Corporation. She started as a client representative was promoted to client service manager, and then to assistant vice president, and then vice president for 7 years, and then senior vice president for 10 plus years, and executive vice president for 4 years. This position works under the direction of the town manager, executing all of the financial planning, analysis, and practices for the town. The role ensures the accuracy, accountability, and efficiency of all municipal and departmental finance reports, and is responsible for maintaining and improving upon the efficiency and effectiveness of all areas that fall under this position's direction and control. There are 5 solid reasons why I'm recommending Kyla. Besides her leadership, business acumen, as well as strong decision-making skills, I want to highlight the following 5 issues, beginning with her financial skills. Throughout the interview, as well as when we spoke to her references, they did confirm to us that she's a strategic thinker and a partner. She's data-driven. She has become a subject matter expert in finance. And she's always willing to listen to others' opinions and incorporates those opinions into his preferred solutions. She also knows how to sift through very complex technical and operational issues, and most spectacularly, reduce them to actionable steps. Number 2, her references spoke to her excellent budgeting skills and confirmed that she's an adept financial analyst. Unique qualities are she has developed a process for understanding what goes into each step when developing a budget or when building financial analysis. And if there's any re-engineering that is warranted, she is able to understand, articulate, and balance the benefits against the risks. Thirdly, her references confirmed her ability to connect with all levels of the organizations. She has built strong partnerships with all. She has developed and built teams globally across the world. Why is she able to do that? She values relationships, trust, communication, and transparency. I will share with you what one of the references shared with me, that Kyla has defined consensus building. And I asked her, what does that mean? She said that Kyla has found a way or found ways to collaborate even when there is no consensus. She's still able to achieve alignment. And obviously we know that when it comes to financial data, that happens more often than not. And then fourthly, she is a very inclusive leader, warm and inviting. And one of her references spoke at length about Kyla being a great mentor, teacher, and developers of others. And I asked her, why so? She said, it's because Kyla always finds a way to listen, learn, and at times not say anything. In other words, she's always willing to concede the space and the venue to others and then incorporate that into actionable steps. And thus is very adept at accepting and respecting different perspectives. Finally, I'm recommending Kyla because, as we know in this field, and as we've done over the past perhaps 8 years, we need to constantly focus on teaching, engaging, and learning from the community. We were told and confirmed that Kyla is a teacher in a constructive way, with a strong record, as I said earlier, in developing others. Whilst she is always pushing for better performance, her remarkable achievement in that regard is that in doing so, she is able to bring others to another level through her leadership and example. Overall, she's a positive influence on all who work under her. And for those reasons, I'm respectfully requesting the board confirm the town manager's appointment of the 30-year veteran in finance, Kyla Lapierre.
Well, thank you. Ms. Merrill, would you like to just take us through the search and hiring process?
Sure. So the interview panel consisted of Poonam Ridge Singhani, the assistant town accountant, Renee Chen, deputy assessor, Jessica Leverins, benefits administrator, myself, Susan Rothermick, assistant superintendent of finance and operations for the schools, Todd Hassett, Elaine Lazarus, and Norman Kumalo. We had 18 candidates over the course of the posting for this position. We interviewed 8 and are so excited to be presenting Kyla this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Kyla, welcome. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, and we can hear you, so that's a good start. I'd ask you to take a minute just to introduce yourself to the community in this way, and just a little bit about why you're interested in this position in Hopkinton.
Sure. So I left State Street in June of last year, and I am looking for a new adventure. So I was thrilled to see this opportunity in Hopkinton. I live in Milford, so I was looking for an opportunity to continue in a career in a local community where I can make a difference and influence a different type of work, let's say. I felt a really good connection with Norman and the team during the interview process, and thoroughly am thrilled to be able to engage with everybody, learn the job, and learn the community. So really looking forward to it.
Great, thank you. Amy, do you have any questions?
I was going to ask a little bit about you have a lot of experience in the private sector, but you had a little bit of public sector experience. It looks like you helped manage the California State Teachers Retirement System funds, and that's really, it seems like it would be helpful and relatable to so can you tell us about your public experience?
Sure. So the State Street Bank asked me to move out to California and run fund accounting operations for both California State Teachers Retirement as well as California Public Employees Retirement. And as you probably all well know, significant assets under management that we were responsible for. So I was running their books and records for at least 3 years. I lived in California for a period of 6 months in order to learn the fund accounting and learn what both retirement systems needed. And then I flew back and forth from Boston to Sacramento every other week so I could help manage with the treasurer and with the chief executive officer of CalSTRS what was required on a monthly, weekly basis for their financials and to meet with their board on a quarterly basis.
Thank you.
Mary Jo?
Well, I'm awfully glad to have someone filling that position. You sure you're not going to be bored in a little town like Hopkinton with that background that you've got? It's like, wow.
I'm really glad you asked that question because I'm really surprised it hasn't been asked before. After 30 years of commuting into Boston, working 16-hour days, it was my decision to leave the bank. I'm looking for a better quality of life and more engagement and something fulfilling. So being close to my community and getting to know a whole different slew of individuals, I can't be more excited.
That's great. I think we're very, very lucky to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
So really no questions directly. Mary Jo just kind of stole my thunder. I was going to say you seem very overqualified for this position. I think that your motivation in wanting to come here is admirable, and welcome you aboard. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person and seeing what you can do for us.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
Okay. Well, I was also going to ask you about the challenges you're looking forward to in Hopkinton coming from your background. So we all had the same form of question, and I'm kind of mad about it. I should have asked it first. No, I'm kidding. But we do really appreciate you investing yourself. We're happy that you're also located, and this is sort of a quality of life move for you too. I do think that there are plenty of challenges of a different sort here. So I look forward to your leadership and the ways that you help us both build the department and hopefully also build engagement with the community in the whole financial management process. That's something that we've been focused on, and we hope to continue to focus on and increase community engagement, because these are big issues for the everyday taxpayer that we face. So. With that, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to confirm the town manager's appointment of Kayla LaPierre as Chief Financial Officer.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Through the chair,
Yes.
I just want to remind the community, yes, Hopkinton is a small town. We are now a $5 billion enterprise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yikes. How big is State Street, though?
A little bigger, I think.
I'm just asking. I don't know the answer to this question. Okay. Mr. Khumalo, the 2024 annual town meeting.
Yes, we are continuing to prepare for annual town meeting. We included in your meeting packet the draft article listing, and we've also provided the language for the property disposition, 0 Duffield Road and 0 Beach Street. This is a topic that the board discussed before, and we thought tonight may be the opportunity for the board to take this up one more time and remind the public what this is about.
So we don't have to take any action on the draft, the listing of articles, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's all done.
Yeah, the list is set.
And do we have,
The Duffield Road is on page 28.
yeah, I saw the Duffield Road. I'm just asking if we have citizens petition articles.
Oh, there was going to be one, right?
We have two.
Two?
Okay, are they on the list?
They're there, and they're also posted on the website.
Well, here I am looking, oh, you know what,
Oh, the Colonial Ave, that's one of them.
the petition on the end is,
Zoning map change,
Yeah, it's only changing.
and then toward the very end, there's create a government study committee. This isn't necessarily the final order of articles.
okay, oh, yeah, I'm finding it now, okay, yep. The special energy code, oh, no, there aren't, oh, I get it. There's a couple that aren't necessarily formatted correctly, so I lost it in there. Okay, So then the Duffield Road is the one that you wanted us to interact with. That's, the wording is to see if the town will vote to authorize the select board on behalf of the town to sell or otherwise dispose of 2 parcels of land, 0 Duffield Road, shown on Assessor's Map L351310, consisting of approximately 3,920 square feet of land, and 2 0 Beach Street, shown on the Assessor's Map L351360, consistent of approximately 2,178 square feet of land, as well as all buildings and appurtenances thereon, under such terms as it may determine. Are there buildings on either of them that we know of? No. 2 very small parcels of land that, just to confirm for the public, town departments don't have any use for, and they don't particularly have any real value to the town to hold on to them. Is that correct?
That's correct. And this came to us from a person who owns an abutting parcel who would like to expand their parcel.
Which parcel, the Beach Street or Duffield?
They own an abutting parcel on Duffield Road. It's a vacant piece. I believe it's to the east of it.
And are these, is it a buildable lot, either of them?
We don't know.
We don't know?
We don't know. We don't have that information as wetlands, locations, and so forth. We don't know.
Okay, but as far as like frontage and zoning, there's enough frontage and all that?
It will be, it's sufficient under, it'll be a non-conforming lot.
Okay.
Any other questions for Ron?
No?
Okay. Anybody, questions?
And they're contiguous parcels, I think, and this is not unreasonable. We've done it before in the past. It all came from when we put the sewer in, and we had original lots were 50 by 100 feet, which didn't comply with zoning, and we've been trying to expand them to comply with zoning ever since. And when an abutter requests a vacant lot, we've taken it into consideration in the past. So this isn't something really new that we're doing. It's just that we have to go through the procedures.
And just to confirm, all abutters have been notified or will be notified before town meeting? So
Yes, and there's no guarantee that the person who owns the abutting parcel would be the event.
Right, another abutter might.
It's just that we are putting it out as possible to be purchased.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Does, I don't have any objections to this.
No.
All right.
All right. So did we had voted to put it on the warrant. Do we have to vote anything else?
No vote required at this moment. We thought it might be an opportune moment for the board to educate the community
Okay.
about the article.
Okay. And then the next item is the town manager and deputy police chief search processes. Do we have Ms. Merrill?
I can speak to the deputy police chief search
Okay.
process. I can confirm we did contact 3 consulting companies per the board's request, looking specifically for a company that would, an organization that would partner with the town in searching for its next deputy police chief. Per procurement laws, we contacted 3 entities, MRI, PSC, and Community Paradigm. Our conversations with them focused on the following: scope of service, price, consulting, who will pay for advertising, who will participate in recruiting the candidates, who will participate in the initial screening, who will also conduct the assessment center, and we also focused on the timelines. And based on this or these aspects of the conversation, we identified that MRI would be most responsive. They will charge the town $9,750. PSC had said $9,800, and Community Paradigm was at $14,000. They will all provide consulting services. They will also help in refining the community profile. The town will pay for the advertising. They will participate in recruiting the candidates in the initial screening and conduct the assessment center. In terms of timeline, MRI is available. They are targeting late July as the decision point. That's where they think they will complete the process. And then PSC, we're fine working with 11 weeks in concluding this in May. Community Paradigm felt they needed 12 weeks to conduct the work, and they'll complete this in May. Again, the numbers are 9,750, 9,800, and then 14,000.
We worked with Paradigm for the fire chief.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Is there any, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, is there any additional services that we're getting for the 14,000 as opposed to the 9,000?
No, the focus was on the aspects that I listed.
Okay.
Any other questions? Have you worked with any of them before? Besides Paradigm, I know we worked with Paradigm.
Yes, we've worked with all the three.
All three, okay.
Yes, we've worked with MRI, fire department, we've worked with PSC, in the police department previously.
Okay, all right. Amy, do you have any questions?
I don't, just July is a long way away, but it's good that we get started.
I have a preference for PSC for the shorter timeline. July is too far away for a department that's struggling. Anybody have any, if we've worked with them before, it's a small amount of money, it's $50 difference, and it's quicker.
Through the chair, I mean, Mr. Khumalo, based on your experience in working with these entities, do you have a preference as far as quality of work?
We can work with any one of those three.
Sorry?
We can work with any one of those three.
Okay.
I assume that you wouldn't have reached out to any of them if you hadn't been satisfied with the work previously.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, I'm on board with your reference. I think sooner the better.
I agree.
And what was the
But I mean,
timeline?
also, I don't want to rush the process, but
No, but 11 weeks doesn't seem like rushing the process. to
no,
me.
it doesn't.
It would be May versus July.
May versus July.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay. Do you need a vote from us, or you'll just reach out to PSC and get the process started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it just get your input? We'll run the procurement office and process and
Okay,
PSC
okay,
and get the process going.
great.
Agreed.
Excuse me. And then we do or we don't have an update on the town manager search process? Oh, what?
She's not on Zoom. She's in the building, okay.
Okay.
Town manager report.
Oh, right there.
Report is okay, we can jump on the town manager report. What's the way?
Perfect. Yep, that sounds like a good idea. Thank you.
I think in terms of Main Street Corridor project, we still don't have any good news in terms of the transformers. Yeah.
Is there, I feel like, is there anything else we can do? I'm hearing from people in the private sector that they're not having such difficulty finding transformers. Should we talk to our legislators, or is there anything we can do?
No, we've reached out to our legislative team, and I mean, do you mind offline? Let's talk. If there's somebody else who's able to source these, we want to know how they're doing it. We can pass the information on to whoever.
Okay. I know public and private sourcing of things is different, but this has been a long time and the public wants to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Nicole also provided the timeline for the next steps relative to the PFAS filtration project. Setting up of the structure will take approximately 2 weeks. They are now going to be coordinating the piping for the week of February 12th, and that therefore means at this point we're still on schedule.
All right, and still on schedule means May?
May.
May, okay.
So May is when we start delivering clean water.
PFAS free.
PFAS free.
PFAS free. Yeah.
Filtered for PFAS. Okay.
And then the MWRA, we're scheduled to meet with DCR on March 24th. We are continuing to review with Eversource if the LNG exclusion zones will impact the location of the pump station if we do reach agreement with DCR. We're also working on a workflow or work process to formalize providing project updates to residents, our state permitting agencies, DEP, MEPA, Water Resources Commission, as well as our legislative team. I think this is now the time where we need to bring this out to the public. We're hoping with the onboarding of the CFO, we'll be able to now progress the IMA, as well as we have agreed that we need to establish regular staff level project meetings on a more regular basis. And our next meeting was scheduled for today.
Okay, and who is on the staff level project team?
It's 3 representatives from the engineering team, and then it's, from the Hopkinton side, we have Kerry, Dave, Eric, and me, soon to be Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
And obviously, if there's any local permitting required, we will then bring in the respective department representatives. For example, if we're dealing with siting issues, we bring in John Gelsich.
okay,
Dealing with CONSCOM issues, we bring in. If we have any public safety related issues, we'll bring in the public safety teams.
okay. And the DCR property is the best property? Do we have a plan B in case DCR doesn't?
Yes, we were looking at Plan B. However, we felt that the DCR property offers the best optimal location for the station.
Okay. And then the only other question I have is, what is the trajectory expected for the IMA now that you mentioned now that the CFO is here?
Yeah, we'll have to discuss that with the CFO, as well as get information, a formal handover from team to the new CFO, and then link back to our colleagues in Southport.
Okay. But that is,
We don't have a date yet.
but that is progressing. There's no holdup on that. We're not,
At this point, I think the delay is on our part. I know Southport wants to move.
so what's holding us back in that case?
It was getting the feedback from the CFO, integrated, and then integrating that into the draft IMA we had talked about. And all of that dependent on the CFO reaching some agreement with John Butler.
Okay, so Tim has been doing that on behalf of us
Yes.
until now?
Yes, he did a review. Yeah.
Okay. And were there any holdups, or has it been progressing?
Very slow progress. I think it was just a timing issue. We're focusing on the budget.
Okay, well, hopefully that will be a priority, because I know it's a priority for Southborough, and we want it ticked and tied.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? Amy?
Not about the MWRA, but the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the next one again, it's a topic I've raised with the board before. Tonight, all I'm simply saying is, in preparation for perhaps the board's next meeting, if board members have any questions, comments on the topic, please reach out, let's discuss them. And thankfully, we received some questions and comments from Lucia.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good questions. We're happy to engage on those topics. Clearly, I've been part of the affordable housing struggles for many, many years, and based on my experience and understanding as to how you actually create affordable housing, I lean more towards the corporation versus the committee.
Okay. Just we already have 2 or 3 committees sort of related to this, and we want to work it all out, that it works and not stepping on other people's toes or.
Yes, good observation. The way I've thought about it is to think of it in terms of 3 buckets. There's a bucket that does the advocacy. Usually you rely on an affordable housing committee to do that.
Okay.
There is the second
The trust.
second bucket, which then focuses on how do you leverage public funds to create affordable housing. We then create an affordable housing trust fund that's controlled by the community and can rely on local appropriations. But by the end of the day, the real work in terms of constructing the units and interacting with the financial enterprises is done through a corporation. Town entities do not have the ability to do that.
So these would be professionals, not committee volunteers, the corporation?
It's a combination. The way how I've seen it is that there are many ways of creating a corporation. One way could create it as a subsidiary of any one of the 2 town committees.
Okay.
Or you can create it as an independent committee, though with a very clear requirement that there will be town representatives on that board. However, if you look around Massachusetts, the entities that are creating more affordable housing units are the corporations and not the committees.
Okay. So maybe just some kind of, for the next meeting, some kind of org chart showing the relationship between the different entities that will be committees and entities? Just even a single slide?
Yes, we'll do that. I think one distinction that needs to be made is, I think one of the questions asked was, will we be creating a similar situation to the Upper Childs Trail Committee and the Trail Coordination and Management Committee? Totally different ideas here. Those were 2 town committees. In this case, this is a non-town committee.
Okay. And it seems like we ought to invite the chairs of the 2 other committees that we have to come or.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
they can ask questions too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is the beginning of a much longer conversation.
No, I'm
looking at Elaine.
It is confusing.
Yes, yeah.
I would very much love to see some real traction and be made. But I have the same concerns that I think were expressed in one way in the email and additionally here. Just understanding how it's managed and who actually, and I know in government this is hard, but who actually gets to drive the train and make it happen, right? Because we don't want to create so much structure that we can't make the forward progress that we're hoping to make. But I do know some of the challenges, and I certainly don't think anybody wants to be managing the actual development who's a volunteer.
Exactly. In fact, the beauty about this is that these topics are coming up now, as we are thinking through what would this look like. So it's always helpful if we can answer these questions up front. We may not be able to answer all of them, but I think for me, it boils down to a couple of things. There's advocacy, there's the medium for holding the public funds, and then there's the creator.
Just for I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes. And then the second piece has to do with where do you see the greatest potential for the entrepreneurial skills that are required in building units? It's in the private corporation.
Yeah. There's an entity that I interacted with in New Hampshire as part of my professional work, and they do exactly this kind of work. And it's, to have somebody with entrepreneurial background and engagement with, this kind of public focus can really make a difference. Just for the public's benefit, how much, largely because of Legacy Farms, I think, the development there, but how much do we have in our public trust fund for affordable housing initiatives?
I think it's approximately around $4 million. I'll check and then I'll send an email.
Okay. Yeah, it's real money at this point. So we're excited about the prospect of being able to make something happen.
Yeah. Again, I've worked in the affordable housing sector for a long time, and most recently I was sharing with Elaine. I interacted with a colleague of mine where he was able to partner with an equity fund, and the equity fund just put $1 million towards a project that they'll be working on going forward. And they want to scale this up globally.
Well, thank you. Any other questions? All right. Ms. Merrill, back. Welcome. Mr. Kamala gave us a run-through for the deputy police chief search, and we were hoping that you can give us a little insight into the town manager search.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of information to share with you this evening.
Just in terms of process, what we would, and initiating that process.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the board might want to consider going to bid for a search firm.
Yep.
Similar to deputy police chief search.
Did we discuss doing that, or I lose
I
track?
believe we did,
Okay.
but that's certainly something we can discuss.
Yeah, because it's on the agenda, and I totally agree that having some professional supports for a search is a plus. We just heard that the deputy chief would be like a 11 or 12-week timeline. Would we expect something similar?
I would expect something similar. By the time you get the bids, get it posted, get it out there, conduct interviews, I imagine you'll have various stakeholders involved in the process.
So we are meeting nearly every week, which is incredible, really. When could you come back reasonably with an update on firms and bids and timelines?
We were able to get that information relatively quickly, the police chief search. I would say roughly a week or so.
I think a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks
Perhaps.
time we should be able to.
Okay. All right, and just as a reminder to the public, we do have a strategy that we did talk about and agree to. We'll have an interim while we do the search, so it's, we don't want it to drag out. We want it to be efficient and take place, but we're not necessarily we're not positioned badly in any way, because we have Ms. Lazarus to serve in the interim.
And both internal candidates and external can apply.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
As we do with all positions.
I have a technical question. What are the process steps to make sure that we get a contract in place for the interim position when you leave, while the search is going on?
We can work on that contract as early as tomorrow,
Great,
and we'll present it to the board.
great, great, okay. Anybody have other questions about that position and that search?
But I agree we should get started so that we.
Yes, Yeah, I know you've been, wow, really working hard. Sorry.
We'll all have that cough, by the way.
So great, that's good news. I think you missed your whole kudos thing there, Elaine. We're all set. We know we're in good hands. But we want to get, I asked about starting on the contract, and we're going to do that. And I asked about we talked about starting on the search process. We are going to use a firm. We will post it. We will expect and hope for internal and external candidates for sure. As in any search, right? That's always the case. Yes.
Well, we have a meeting in 2 weeks anyway, so maybe by then we would know more.
We have a,
Maybe
yes,
next weekend, week
yeah.
after.
We
Yeah.
just have so many meetings. You can hardly miss. So that would be great, actually, if in 2 weeks on the March 5th meeting, we had a real concrete process for the town manager search. All right. Great, thank you very much. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, really appreciate it. All right. I think, as the town manager's report, that we sealed the deal on that.
Yes.
And we have liaison reports or board invites.
So the only thing is on the Upper Charles that I've handed out for next week. That's all I have.
Okay.
So I have copies for both.
Great. And, all right.
So this is just for discussion purposes. Just welcome comments.
Is this the old one
It's the old one that's been
that you are making?
redlined and, yeah, modified.
You're making changes, or you're making suggestions too?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Perfect. Can we send that out to the members of the Upper Charles Trail Committee and the Trails Committee, just so they have it before next week?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
I think that
well, I
would
think we have to, because it's
You're going to see it.
public, and
Yeah, it's
they're
public,
going to want to know more.
Right.
Okay. And then also, can we have, when we discuss it, can we have the map up?
Oh, yes, we have that.
Since that's easier for the public.
I'll ask Dave.
It's a big map to put on the screen.
Yeah, there's a big map.
One board.
Yeah, we'll ask Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great if it was possible. Yeah. Little art project for school vacation
Slides,
week.
even a,
Yeah,
slideshow
whatever's-
with showing each segment and, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have, we'll speak with Dave.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, Dave. All right, Amy, do you have anything?
I was just going to note, we did get an email about snow plowing on Echo-Brook Lane, and that will town staff, or maybe we need to forward it to you, but maybe you would forward it to the town staff and you can reply to them about the process. I think they want to get their street accepted.
Oh, okay, yes.
That process.
Yeah, the town conducted a process about 6-7 years ago, identifying different groupings of streets that are private.
Yeah.
And also identifying the process for bringing them to town meeting.
Yeah, so I think they just need to know what that is.
Yeah.
I was going to say, since Shai Dole's here, he told me that he attended the Lunar New Year celebration I think it was a week ago at the high school, and he said it was really great, lovely, great event, and they thanked the select board and all the other town volunteers for the work they do. And I heard that we got a standing ovation.
Oh.
That was nice. And then we got a nice email from a high school student in Millis this week.
Yeah, we did.
Who's going to do some public art of the electrical box covers in Millis, and he wanted to include landmarks from not just Millis, but the neighboring towns too. So I tried to hook him up with the Historical Society and Historical Commission for suggestions of updated landmarks that might be nice on their electrical boxes.
Yep, I responded to him too with a couple ideas, including the start line when it goes in, if that was of interest to him, because it's the 100th running this year. It's always significant, but that might be cool.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, and if anybody else has any ideas, he was pretty cute. He was pretty appreciative of the ideas. It's a great idea.
And then planning board, I know they're working hard on that MBTA Communities Act. I remind the residents to stay informed on that, because I know it's going to be a confusing, kind of controversial issue at town meeting this year, especially in light of what happened with Milton recently. So, but I'm sure we'll be posting info to our website and the zoning hearing. I think that's all I have.
Mary Jo.
Yeah, I had a very interesting meeting this week with the MWRTA. It was a great meeting. We haven't had a meeting in a while, and just as an aside, I sat next to the representative from Southborough, who's very enthusiastic about our MWRA project, so it's a good thing. But they've come up with some really new ideas, and the agenda was amazing. They are getting more, at least 3, maybe more, 29-foot buses, the big buses. And they will have more advertising for the MWRTA, and they will be able to carry many more people, whether it'll be for trips or you know, what they're, and just for general use. That is something that they're moving forward on. They're getting them from Georgia. They're not getting new ones. They're not buying new ones. They're converting their fleet, so they're taking some of their buses to see how it works. They also came up with an idea that they are getting from somewhere a few trolleys. Buses that look like trolleys, so they'll be more noticeable, people will know them, and we'll be seeing them probably around Framingham area first, maybe Marlborough, I don't know, but they're gonna try a few of those too. So they've got some new ideas going, and not a lot of expense, and we did come up to par with some of the other RTAs, so with the federal funding and the state funding. So that's a positive for right now. And the meeting was great. It was just really right on, and a lot of different things we discussed. I have a marathon meeting tomorrow night, and let me see, it seems like I had something else I wanted to discuss. Well, next meeting.
All right, so I think we're unbelievably at,
Wow. Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the meeting.
oh, wait, hold on.
Before,
No?
Sean Joel had requested the Economic Development Council for the 27th rather than the, maybe you've talked to him since.
He sent something, and I hope I didn't scramble it. Let me just see if he sent it via text. I will double check that, though. We have time to do that. Not a lot of time, but time to do it before the next agenda is posted. So you think it was economic development was for the 27th?
I thought that's what he said was his highest priority.
And I could have made that mistake.
But, yeah, he could have changed his mind.
So he did send me something with the 2 lined up, so I'm hoping that I got it
Okay.
right.
Then-
So, but I will double check that. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Yes, take it away, Irfan.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Yes. Well, you know, when you meet every week.